What up, what up? Because I'm so absolutely dedicated to this cause, thought I'd go give up my lunch break to go live. No, I'm joking. I absolutely love this, so I'm very happy to. Thought I'd go live just before the Matchday 2 deadline. I'm here for any questions, any, dilemmas, chip strategy, decisions, players to buy, all that kind of stuff. I'm here until 2 p.m. UK time for the next hour and 10 minutes. I'm here for you. So you got any questions, anything you need, any help you need with your team? I'm here. So yeah, fire away. It's good to be here. Looking forward to seeing what you guys have to ask. My team, well, I have, to be honest, I've already made some changes to it. To be honest, didn't know that I would be able to go live today, but a little gap opened up in my diary where I could take a later lunch break and do this. So I've already made my changes. I think I can show you my Matchday 1 team, and then, yeah, there we go. So here's my Matchday 1 team. Players that I wasn't so happy with. Mbappe, obviously injured. Got to do something about him. De Kuyper didn't even play for Belgium. Didn't even get off the bench. So, I mean, he's got to go. He might. I've heard that he might start Matchday 2, but I just can't pick him because he didn't play. So I just don't have any basis for keeping him. So I'm going to get rid of him. And then I wanted to get rid of DeMarco as well because he's got Spain, but don't think I can do that. I just can't squeeze it in. So what I've done Mbappe to Kane because Mbappe, according to the biggest French sports paper or like news source, L'Equipe, I think it's called, they said that he's out for the Netherlands game. So I went for Mbappe to Kane. I thought, making a big hitter transfer is a bigger priority than getting rid of DeMarco, for example. And then I went De Kuyper to Mark Gahey. I would have got a Croatia defender, but at 4.5 million, which is the budget I had left, I couldn't tell you a Croatian defender that's guaranteed to play. And I've already got Livakovic in goal because I conveniently stuck him in at the start in order to not have to use too many transfers this week. So I went for Gahey instead. I thought he's probably the best 4.5 million defender outside of the German ones I could go for. Good to see you in the chat, Laura. Should we have a quick look at our members? Actually, no. If I show my members league, it will show the code, so I shan't. If you let me know where you are in the old members league. Leeds are rubbish. 1, 2, 3. I'm doing all right. Thank you very much, mate. I'm doing all right. Looking forward to chatting to people for the next hour on a live stream. Yeah, mate. Team's locked in. I'm done. Made all my transfers. I'm happy. Hi, mate. My keepers are Verbruggen, who has France, and Lunin, who I'm worried might be dropped after his bad performance. I'd say Lunin, because if he doesn't play, it doesn't matter. I'd probably get rid of Verbruggen and take a chance on Lunin, because you kind of have more surety that Verbruggen's probably going to concede, I think. Although I would say France, they didn't look all that good. I wasn't too impressed by them, and I think without Mbappe, they're going to be a bit weaker. Worth triple, I think so, Laura. We sort of got, if you remember the last Euros, I watched the first Italy game, and I was immediately thought, they're going to win. They look the best team in the competition by far, and they went on to win it. And Germany, I have that feeling about them. They'll certainly go far, and I think against Hungary, they've got a good chance for clean sheet. I'm saying that as a Szoboszlai owner, right? I think, yeah, triple Germany, I think, is the way to go. Is there any way to reverse? You can. If you play one of your chips this week, it'll delete all your transfers, but obviously you have to use the chip. Joel Goddard, Mbappe, Jorginho, DeMarco to Thuram, Musiala, Guardiola, worth it for a -4. I think you can do better than Thuram. Could you explain your chip strategy? I mean, for me, mate, I picked a team at the start of the game knowing that I needed to pick it for 2 match days. I decided my chip strategy before the game started. So I've had to be fair, and it's a bad answer for your question, but I had a fair few questions in the last week as to should I play my chip now, etc. Because the game is so short, I think, unfortunately, most people should have decided their chip strategy before the game started, because that really should have impacted the team that you picked. So you can see my team here is not too not in too bad a shape for Matchday 2, I don't think. And that's because I built it knowing that it would last me for 2 weeks. So I've got Livakovic in goal, for example, who I think a lot of people this week might want. I've already got him, so I don't have to use a transfer. So I'm using my Limitless next week, Matchday 3. I'm going to try and... I'm hoping that some of the teams sail through, like Germany, for example, England maybe as well. People will be heavily loaded up on those teams. I just quite like the thought of using a Limitless to get those players in. I'm playing F1 Fantasy on an app called Fan Team, but I must say I've not been that engaged. I'm just spinning a lot of plates in my life at the moment where I can like watch an F1 race and, you know, take some interest in some of the drivers, but fantasy and YouTube videos about it is just a step too far for me, I'm afraid. What do you think of going Gundogan to Musiala? Just keep Gundogan, mate. Not worth it. Havertz took the pen, yes, but I still think there's a case that Gundogan will remain as the German penalty taker. He took an awful challenge before the Havertz pen, and I think there was an element of Gundogan being hurt, particularly to his foot, right? You know, if he hurt his arm, he might have been able to take the pen, but he took a really nasty challenge to his ankle, and I think it was his right ankle as well, wasn't it? His dominant foot, the one he kicks a ball with. So, for me, that's why he didn't take the pen, and I think we have to give it the benefit of the doubt. Unai Simon or Pickford? I'd probably go Pickford. But it's close. You got nubbed, I have to, mate. I've already used 2 free transfers, so I would get Stanisic in if I could, but I've already done Mbappe to Kane. I imagine you watched my team selection video. So I've already done Mbappe to Kane, which means I don't have a free transfer. So I'd have to make a -4, and it's just not worth it. Is Cucurella a shout? Yeah. Not huge on the Spain defence. I know they kept a clean sheet against Croatia, but I think they got quite lucky too. And Simon, you know, his points are going to be heavily inflated now by that penalty save. I think it's a luxury move, Diogo. I try to avoid luxury moves in fantasy football, but if it's all you've got on, maybe. Fabian Ruiz is a very decent option. I mean, I mentioned him in one of my videos, right? So I just think Rodri is probably still the best Spain midfielder, and we didn't quite see the best of him in that first game. I'd go Gundogan, mate. You can see it there. Well, obviously I don't have the other players you spoke about, but I'd go Gundogan, my friend. I would go for Gundogan. Yeah, Laura, where are you in the Golden Goal Members League? You have to tell me the rankings, because if I go on it, it'll give away the code, and then it won't be the Members League anymore. Yeah, I got to say, Alex, I was tempted to bring in Trent, but just with Denmark being a tougher opposition and having a better midfield, I just don't know if he starts. I think he could go for Gallagher, which I think is the right play, by the way. I think it's the right decision, as long as he doesn't play bloody Foden on the left. Or he could play Bellingham a bit deeper, play Foden through the middle and Gordon on the left. I think for me, we saw in that England game, the first England game, yes, they got over the line, but Foden was just pretty rubbish on the left, in my opinion. I think Gareth might change things around a bit. And Trent, unfortunately, might be victim. Or he starts at right back, maybe. Who did you end up captaining? So it landed on Ronaldo in the end, unfortunately. I'm trying to remember exactly what I did. So I went Gundogan for Bruggen, Mbappe, Ronaldo. That was my transfers last week. That was my captains last week. Obviously, Gundogan got 5 points, 10 points as a captain, but I mean, I just figured it was worth rolling every time, to be honest. You do the prediction? No, mate. If I was a betting man at the start of the tournament, I'd have bet on France before the ball was kicked. But right now, I'd bet on Germany. But I don't play the predictors. Yes, clean sheet odds, of course you can. Here you are. Which would you choose between Pedri, Szoboszlai, Nico Williams? I think I would go for Pedri. Always going to end up on Bruno and Ronaldo. We'll see, mate. We'll see. I would say definitely last week was quite disappointing for me. And all of the big hitters Ronaldo and Mbappe got an assist, didn't he? But just an assist. And he got yellow. Did you get yellow carded? Yeah. All of the big hitters didn't deliver. Nice one, Laura. All to play for then. Croatia lineup is out. We'll have a gander at that. Vert or a Croatian defender. Let's see how Croatia are lined up. What I'm going to do is just go on Twitter and we will... Well, I've got this screen up. I'll have a look at the Croatian lineup. Cheers for that, Laura. Beautiful country, by the way, is Croatia. I wouldn't try and squeeze in a French player just for captaincy, to be honest, mate. There's the... So Juranovic, 5 million plays. Are there any 4.5 there? Let's have a look. Croatian defenders, 4.5. Because that's the one I would say to get in, to be honest. Not really. I don't really think Phil Foden's been very good for England. I think Bellingham's the man, to be honest, mate, if you can get him. Vida, Erlich, Pongracic. No. It's 5 million or above for Croatian defenders. French forward for 8 million or less. Let's see what we're actually looking at. Because, yes, you're probably right about it. It might be worth doing. What else have we got on that day that France play? Honestly, mate, I'd consider Dovbyk instead. Joel, I'd consider Dovbyk of Ukraine. Yeah, talked about Phil Foden. That's the Croatia team. Pretty decent, to be fair. Pretty decent. Just hope for a clean sheet, eh? Yeah, I don't know. We've probably got a fair few English people in the chat. What do you reckon of Phil Foden as an option? I'm not sure. I don't think he's ever been that good in an England shirt. And also, I think he was... Well, it's not his fault. He was forced to play on the left against Serbia. And he's just not a left winger. He wants to cut inside all the time. He's never going to go around the outside and like cross the ball in. I felt a bit sorry for him, really. Like Gareth shoehorning a right-footed left-back and a non-left winger on the left-hand side for England. I thought it was a bit ridiculous, really. I agree, Alex. I think Saka's a better choice. It just seems like... I'm not trying to bash Southgate, but his team selection just seems... It baffled me. I personally would do a front four of Kane, Gordon, or Eze, because Eze can play on the left. Foden in the middle, Saka on the right, and Bellingham and Rice in midfield. And I think against Serbia, I know it was only Serbia, they don't have the best midfield in the world, but Bellingham proved that he has like the physicality, energy, all of that to play in midfield. And I don't think it matters if he plays a bit deeper, because the goal he scored was like a late run into the box, and he could still do that from like a number 8 position. Have Rice and Bellingham together, I think that's really strong. Like France, for example, played with Pogba and Kante and had all the success. And yes, obviously Conte is an enigma, but Pogba had no defensive discipline at all, and they still managed to make it work. So I think Bellingham and Rice could be good. Yeah, mate, I think Croatia is the one to go for, really. Unless you're not tripled up on Germany, because I think Germany could be all right. 43% to keep a clean sheet, apparently, but they did look the best team in the tournament, in my opinion. Yeah, I'd keep Castagna, because they've got... I know Romania played well, but I would keep Castagna. I'd sell DeMarco, and if you got 6.5, yeah, I'd do DeMarco to... who am I trying to say? DeMarco to Guardiola. Will Mbappe not play? Well, L'Equipe, which is like the big French sports press sort of thing, establishment, I guess the right word, say that he's injured. So he's going to miss the Netherlands game is what they report. I'm not like... If it were me, This is going to sound a bit like harsh. But if I'd broken my nose and I was playing for England in the Euros, I'd say put a mask on that protects my nose from any kind of impact, load me up with some painkillers, and I'm going out there and playing. I think he could play. Like, physically he could play, right? But whether he does or not, that's a question. I don't think he does. If you had Mbappe, Frimpong, Moldovan, second keeper, Costa, where would you use your second free transfer? Well, I'd definitely get rid of... I use mine on Mbappe because I don't think you can have a player of that value in your team in that like precious of a position and him not start. So I'd use one on Mbappe. Frimpong and Moldovan, I would probably use it on Frimpong and get a Croatian defender in if you can. Hey, Ben. Good to see you, mate. Thank you for everything you've said and helped me with over the last week, mate. Last few days. Joseph Robertson. Akanji with 11 ball recoveries in game 1 and with a chance for clean sheet against Scotland. Seems like you, mate. You've named a player I didn't even think of. That's some decent justification there. Sorry you got nubbed. To be honest, I'm quite flexible about my wildcard. I'll use it at some point during the group stage, but exactly when I'm going to do it, I'm not sure. That's my honest opinion on that one. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? 10 ball recoveries. Yeah, wildcards just come in sometime during the group stages for me. Verts or Musiala? Flip a coin, mate. Genuinely, get a coin out and flip it. Heads is Verts. There you go. That's how you make that decision in my mind. It's really hard. There's no ahead of the game. There's no right answer in my mind. Obviously, one player will probably score more than the other, but ahead of the game, I don't think there's anything to suggest that one player is better than the other. I mean, I'm completely down the middle. Unless anyone else has got a different opinion, feel free to offer it in the chat. But for me, yeah, it's completely down the middle with those two. Will you replace Vlavakovic on... Well, it depends how many points he gets, mate, quite simply. If he keeps a clean sheet against Albania... Actually, no, I see your point. No, I mean, if he keeps a clean sheet against Albania or gets saves bonus and doesn't concede too many goals, I'd probably keep him. Yeah, Jake, exactly my thoughts, mate. Yeah, disappointing. Yeah, I'm on 0, mate. Got no cash. Got no cash. Does this show? If I press make transfers, there we go. Ah, that's probably a better screen to be looking at, actually, isn't it? There you go. Here's my team. Do forwards get ball recovery points? Yeah, I think they should. Do you have a look? I mean, I think it's across the board. Just don't think. What did Griezmann get? Did he make many? No, he blanked, didn't he? Right, so he scored. Ethan, as you can see, mate, you don't need to ask me that question because you can see my answer on the screen. I would definitely do Szoboszlai to a German midfielder if you can do it, but exactly who, it's between Wirtz and Musiala and Gundogan. I think all three of them are equal. I really do. I genuinely can't decide between, even Havertz up front, but obviously he's up front. Bellingham, mate. I'd definitely go for Bellingham. I put Doku ahead instead of Lukaku. I think he's more dangerous inside the 18-yard box. Fair enough. Yeah, exactly. Lalix. I just think it's down the wire with the two of them. I really do. Impossible to decide. Yeah, Hey, don't apologise for asking questions, mate. I'll just answer the one above, though. Gundogan, but I thought he took pens. I still think he's the designated pen taker. I still think he's the designated Germany penalty taker. Like, he obviously won the pen and got absolutely clouted for it on the ankle of his dominant kicking foot, the foot he would have taken the penalty with. So I don't think that you can draw too many conclusions for that from that penno that Havertz took it. I still think Gundogan will be the taker. Well, sorry, no, I don't. I don't know actually who's going to be the taker, but I just think you got to give Gundogan the benefit of the doubt. Sorry, folks, I'm just had me lunch. I had ate me lunch very quickly. Who would you be likely to transfer in if you were to use your wild card this week? I bring in 3 Croatian players. Bloody hell. I don't think this is the week to use the wild card, to be honest, because you're going to be so unsure about the players that get through. Like, the logic of playing the wild card this week is because you're predicting the future, if that makes sense. And it's right now, I think there's such a lottery in terms of players that you pick as to whether they'll play next game. So I probably wouldn't play the wild card this week. I don't know, that's just my opinion. But I did a buy and avoid video. It's really hard because you'd want to pick the top teams, but then some of the top teams could already be through. I guess Belgium, I'd probably triple up on Belgium. Triple up on Belgium and Croatia, because I think they'll be playing for it right until the end. I'll go Lunin. People were saying he had a poor game, but with goalkeepers, he either starts or doesn't feature at all, right? So I'd go Lunin. I still think he's going to be better than Verbruggen this week. Who would you be likely? I've already done that. If he scored that pen, he would have been the high. Yeah, exactly. Or I'd still say Gundogan. Fair play, Greg, on the Gula score. I still like Gundogan, mate. I got to say, I might be completely blind, but I still like Gundogan. Top 3 German assets would probably be Gundogan, Havertz and Milstead. Because I still think Germany are really solid defensively. I know they conceded against Scotland, but if anyone saw the game, it was such a scrappy, terrible goal. And it wasn't as a result of bad defending. You know, they conceded, I think, across the game, 0.01 XG. So, yeah, I think it'll be fine. Is Trossard a sell? No, I'd keep him. I think Cancelo probably starts. Trent, I don't know. I think he plays Gallagher, Ben. I don't know. I think he plays Gallagher. What I want him to play, I've said it like a couple of times already, what I want him to play is Kane, Gordon, Foden, Saka as the 4, and Bellingham and Rice in midfield. I think that's the best England lineup you can go for. But I feel like he's going to stick to the same front 4 as the last game and play Gallagher in midfield instead of Trent. Foden on the left, just torture for me. I'd start Pickford 100%. 100% start Pickford, in my opinion. If it doesn't come out, then so be it. But I think you've got to go Pickford. He kept a clean sheet match day 1, right? I'm confused between KDB and Gundogan to put the captain. Well, you shouldn't be, mate. Use Gundogan and then you can change it to KDB on the 22nd of June. Or Guardiola or Wirtz. Bloody hell. What do people in the chat think out of that? That's a really tough decision. I don't mind Kevin De Bruyne. I think he's be a nice differential. Not many people are going to be buying him this week. Gregorich. Who's that? Showing my noobiness. Gregorich. Oh, the Austrian player. No, I think it's Sabitzer. Sabitzer takes everything for Austria. So in the fan team game, for example, if anyone watched that stream I did with Ben, who's in the chat, I've done Ericsson to Sabitzer and DiMarco to Guardiola. What I've done in that game. Oh no, sorry, I've done Mbappe to Kane and started Guardiola because I had Guardiola on my bench. Yeah, I completely agree, Ben. Stanisic on the bench. Oh yeah, it's Juranovic that's playing. Yeah. Sorry, Ebba. That's such a hard decision. Because a clean sheet is basically the same as scoring a goal, isn't it? So I think it's really hard. Hey, Barmy Army, it's not the end of the world if you do it and it doesn't work out, right? Yeah. If you've got all those players, so Bosley I wouldn't be too worried about, but DeMarco, De Kuiper, Trent, yeah, I would. I think I'd go Havertz, mate. I think my order of Germany players would be Havertz, Gundogan, Wirtz. I thought Havertz looked really good in that first game. Tar or Mittelstadt? I think Mittelstadt looked really attacking. He took 2 or 3 shots at goal, I think. Obviously, he didn't hit the target, but I think he looked really attacking. I think Ronaldo plays, mate. I think he plays for everything. I don't know if anyone watched the Portugal game last night, but I was so frustrated that Martinez didn't bring Pedro Neto on earlier. I could just tell that they needed a front three to like really challenge the Czech defence. And it took until the end of the game for him to bring Pedro Neto on. And with his first touch, he beat a man, and the second touch got the assist. Yeah, unlimited transfers, round of 16, mate. I think that's a good way to do it, Barmy Army. Because you can... It's a way to do it anyway. Just the captaincy points. So just the extra points he gets for captaincy. No worries, Diogo. Congratulations on your country's win last night. What did you think of your team's performance? Should I sell Cancelo or Costa or for Ronaldo? I wouldn't bother. Just keep them, mate. They'd be good options this week. So no one knows for sure if Mbappe's out. L'Equipe, like the French news stream, newspaper. I don't know what it is. I'm not French. But they said he's going to miss the Netherlands game. And that was good enough for me not to pick him and go for Kane. Because Kane is good. I just think it made sense. Leeds are rubbish. Unfortunately, I'm a 2-team man. I live in Bristol, not too far away from Ashton Gate, which is where Bristol City play. So I've got a season ticket there to watch Bristol City. And then I grew up, my dad took me to a Bristol City game. That's why I'd support them. And then I grew up as well as a Man United fan. So I've got 2 teams, I'm afraid. I guess you grow into the tournament, right? That could be a mindset to have around it. I mean, Argentina lost their first game of the World Cup, didn't they? Kane or Havertz, who is better? I went Kane, mate. I had the decision selling Mbappe for Kane or Havertz, and I went for Kane. He's the best forward in world football. He's the best striker, in world football. I just think he's better. Yes, he didn't have the best game, Matchday 1, but he is the best striker in world football. So I think you have to go for him. And he's definitely on penalties for England too. Well, it just depends on your team, but based on what you said, you might leave yourself in a bit of trouble. But also this week, your team's in a bit of trouble, so... It's really hard to say, mate. It's really hard to say, Barmy Army. Freddie Ebbing, good to see you, mate. Yeah, I like it. It sounds like you've already got Kane and Lukaku, likely. So, yeah, I mean, those transfers make really good sense. More Mitrovic or Kramaric? I'd say Mitrovic. Is Modric? Yeah, I like Modric. Didn't have the best game, I don't think, against Spain, but I do like him. I won't answer that question with a yes or no, Barmy Army. I'll just say, do you think the transfers you're going to make are worth 4 points, more than 4 points to your team? And if you think the answer to that question is yes, do the -4. Sorry to not give you a straight answer, but can't see a team, so that's what I'd say. I think there's a good chance that it's going to score you more than 4 points. Do the move. Rajkovic, Livakovic, Akanji, Cancelo, Guardiola, Trent, Castagna, Bruno, Bellingham, Musiala, Wirtz, KDB, Ronaldo, Havertz, Lukaku on a limitless. Nice, mate. If there are English folk in the chat, what do we think? If you were to put a percentage on Trent's likelihood to start, what would you say? For me, it's 50-50. Not because he had a poor game, just because I just don't know how Southgate's going to set up. I put it 50-50. Whereas I left DiMarco in my team because, yes, I don't think Italy keep a clean sheet, but I definitely think he plays. Who's Abeshire? Let's have a look. That is a rogue. That is rogue, that is. We got 12 pointer, did he? You know what? Screw it. You got multiple opportunities to use your captaincy over the week, right? I'd go for this dude. Why not? Why not take the punt? Not many people are going to have him. Excuse me. I'd take the punt. I think you can change captain unlimited times, mate. Obviously, every day that there's a game, you can change your captain once. But before the deadline, it's unlimited. Bounce around as many times as you want. So it would, I'd say, Ramadian, it depends on your chip strategy. So if you're not using a chip next week, I'd probably go Gahey. But if England gets 6 points, I think Gahey could be rested in the third game. And for that reason, I'd probably go Guardiola. But if you're not using a chip, I think it's 50-50 and you should flip a coin. Sommer or Livakovic? Livakovic. I'd favour the clean sheet odds. I'm not doing too badly, thank you, Cortex. Appreciate that, mate. Jorginho, Trossard, De Kuyper. Who would you be your priority sell? De Kuyper, mate, the one that doesn't play. Mudryk or Sudakov, 50-50. Rodri against Italy's fine, mate. I'm playing him. His pens, ball recovery, outside the box efforts, I think he'd be fine. Thought Spain were really good against Croatia, to be fair. Spain and Germany have been the two best looking teams so far, in my opinion. Nice moves, Cortex. Yeah, I can't fault that. Sorry, guys, I've got a bit of a runny nose. I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to go and get a tissue. You don't need to see me continually wiping my nose. I'll be 5-10 seconds. I won't even go anywhere. I've got one in my pocket. Yeah, me too, Alex. I thought it was nailed on that he was going to play, but there you go. If I take out Trent, I can do Musiala. I take out DiMarco, I can only do Wirtz. I think there's nothing between Musiala and Wirtz, to be completely honest with you, mate. What do you think of Juranovic for Croatia? He's playing, so I like him. Yeah, I like him. Cucurella was good. Cucurella was good. Spain were good, to be fair, weren't they? Spain, just in general, were good. I'm just going to crop my screen a little bit, actually. Make that a little bit bigger. Just a little bit. Get that a little bit bigger. Mudryk out for Kvaratskhelia. Oh, I don't know, mate. I just think that's such a 50-50 thing. Thank you, Steve, mate. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. I do them for FPL as well, although I still haven't kind of decided my strategy for FPL videos and stuff next season. So basically, alongside this, I swim competitively, and we've got like one of the most important training sessions on a Saturday morning. And all of this year, I missed them for the deadline streams. So I'm deciding whether to keep doing them for. I probably can do both, but I'm still deciding what I'm going to do for FPL. But thank you very much, mate. I do really enjoy the streams. It's great to interact with people. Cortex, Gundogan. I'll go Gundogan. Probably Kane. I won't change it to Verbruggen. And then I'll probably go Ronaldo if nothing's changed. I would go for any of the Croatian defenders that are starting today. I think Juranovic is the one, mate. I would say a Germany defender if you can get to them, but I'm not sure if they'll play Matchday 3. They look so good that they could get 6 points in rest players. The one thing I like about Spain is that they've got all like the technical ability, but they've also got pace up front, and like their best 11 in history, like the Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, Torres one, they didn't really have a whole lot of pace up front, but now I think they've got everything now. Apart from maybe 2 really, really solid centre-backs. Optimal midfield for Limitless, mate. I've made a draft video, a Limitless draft video. You might want to check that out. I can't actually remember who I picked in it, but I would watch that video. I think it was pretty much the midfield I have, with Bellingham instead of Szoboszlai. I can't remember the other mid. I would go for Guardiola, mate. Because, yeah, I go Guardiola. Is it for second week? I'm confused, Cortex. Yes, I'm going to do that, Cortex, third week. Limitless. Going to survive this week with no chip. Play my Limitless next week. And then use my wildcard whenever I need to during the knockouts. Thoughts on this Limitless team? Ronaldo, Lukaku, Havertz, Pedri, Maya, Bruno, Jude, Musiala, Guardiola, Middlestat, Trent, Akanji, Kant. Yeah, I like it. That was the other player, KDB. So my midfield, if I was on a Limitless, would be KDB, Jude Bellingham, Wirtz, Gundogan, Bruno Fernandes. So I would go for KDB. I would go for KDB. I would do Van Dijk to Guardiola. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's why I didn't have him in the first place, because I knew I wouldn't want to play in Matchday 2. He'll score now. He won't keep a clean sheet, but he'll score from a corner or something. I'm not sure about Dallo. No, I don't know. I wouldn't have picked him in the first place, to be honest, because I was just so unsure. It depends if you have any other fires to put out in your team. Yeah, exactly, Cortex. I mean, there's bound to be some upsets or something, right? Oh, mate. Steve, it's really on your preference, I think. I honestly think it's a tie between those 3 German midfielders. I just have no money. Like, money aside, I think they're as good as each other. You got nubbed. No, I'm limitlessing next week. I had to keep hold of DeMarco this week because I'd have to hit him out. And I just wasn't willing to do that. With the amount of subs, like playing subs that I have, you know, having one player in there that's not ideal does not worry me. Fair enough, Steve. I think that's quite risky, Jake. I think if you're really looking to make gains and get points, it's going to be done in the group stages. Yeah, like that, Ben. That is killer. Sorry, you sent me some. I'm sorry, I was rushing through my lunch and doing a couple things this morning. You sent me that. I can't remember what I said in response. Yes, I like that team. Keeping Trent, taking out DeMarco. Fair enough. That'll do, mate. That's good midfield. We have the same defenders apart from Cancelo, Guardiola, Gahey, TAA. Fair enough. Mate, the points are gained in the group stages, right? So if you're taking a -4, surely there can't be as many shock results. I do feel like some of the big hitters will actually do something this week. They've had a game to like warm up to tournament football, you know. It's really disappointing though, the first week. I guess at least, no one can tell you that picking Ronaldo, Lukaku, Kane, or Mbappe in your Euro fantasy team was a bad idea, even if they didn't do very well, right? I just think he's on penalties, Ebba. That's my reason for doing it. He's on pens. And I think he had a better game than Wirtz did, to be honest. I know Wirtz scored his goal, but really like Gundogan. I thought he was decent. Got ball recoveries too. Fair enough, Ben. That's what the game's about, isn't it? Playing to how you feel results will go. Yeah, Lukaku had 2 goals ruled out, yeah. 2 right, mate. Just going to put a jumper on. For some reason, it's gone really cold in my room. No, I wouldn't sell Jude Bellingham. Definitely don't sell Jude Bellingham. Well, yeah, he did in the last game, didn't he? Gundogan stayed on the pitch for 90. So I think you have to take that into account. But ultimately, the answer is, I don't know, Ben. But he played longer than Wirtz did in the first game. And he got, the really bad challenge on him. And he still played 90. And to be fair, Germany have a replacement in Sane and other players on their bench for Wirtz, but they don't really have one for Gundogan, if that makes sense. Gundogan got 3 for 1 point. I would go for, it depends, but I think I'd just go for Guardiola. I just go for Guardiola. I think that's the better play. Just see what Twitter's saying. Any news? Everyone going live by the looks of it. I'd say Guardiola. I think Guardiola's the safer bet. Saka or Musiala? Ooh, that is tough. I'd probably say Musiala. I think Germany have got the better fixture. I think the Danes will be tough for England to beat. Played him in the semi, didn't we, of last Euros? Was it semi-quarters? I think it was a semi. Ultimately, I know Wasif, I think hopefully that's how you pronounce your name. Sorry if I butchered it. Ultimately, the game is about playing it and making your own decisions. So if you don't trust England, sell Jude. But I wouldn't do it, if you're asking me. If you ask for my thoughts, I wouldn't do it. But if you want to, it's a short game. I've no idea what we're going to get out of Scotland tonight, Steve. I don't think it's coming out. I bet on France at the start of the tournament, and right now I'd bet on Germany. I see a Scotland draw, McTominay scoring. How highly owned is McTominay at the moment? We're all over the place typing at the moment. Scotland McTominay 6% owned. What did he do? I got ball recovery. Yeah, Vasif, do that. I don't know, mate. I thought Portugal and England looked about the same. Apologies. And France as well. France didn't look all that good. I just think England looked so terrible on the left. Trippier playing wrong-footed left back and Foden as the left winger. It was terrible. Nothing came down the left-hand side for England. And if Gareth Southgate plays that team again, I just don't... Foden does not work off the left. I've said it many, many times. Yeah, I agree, Steve. You've got to have a winger out there. Or Eze. I'm not too fussed about Gordon. You could probably go Eze there because he probably stays out wide a little bit more. But I think Gordon's the real one. Because he's also got the real pace to run in behind. And That's why I keep going back to I would have picked Rashford in this Euro squad. I just would have done because I think he's better than Gordon. I do. I think you got to trust him. When he's up for a game, he's good, and he'd be up for the Euros, in my opinion. Obviously, there's reasons, then understandable reasons that Southgate left him out, but just having a guy on the wing with a lot of pace, as a defender, you're always going to be worried about that. As a team, you're always going to be playing a bit deeper or setting up to cover for that. Whereas when you got Foden, you know you don't really have to worry about him running in behind. And Saka isn't like an all out and out pace player either. Mbappe out for Ben. That's exactly what I've done with my team. Not really. Not really. I don't think Palmer will get many minutes this tournament. I also agree with that, Steve. I just think you play Jude deeper, Foden as the 10, and someone Gordon Eze on the left, and then you're sorted. I just think Bellingham and Rice next to each other works really well. And Foden can support them as well with the press, and that seems the best England team for me. And I would start that team against any level of opposition as well. You just got to pick your best players in their right positions. It's really annoying because that was the England midfield that played in the World Cup, Bellingham and Rice, and it worked really well. Like, we only lost to France on a missed penalty. By Captain Guardiola now, can I change it? No. You get one captain for today and no changes during today. So if you go for a captain today, you can only change it for a player that plays tomorrow. Yeah. No comment on Southgate. It really frustrates me that he played Foden on the left. Because there was, at the start of the last Euros, we played Scotland as the opening game. Foden started on the left wing there, and it didn't work. And that was all the use case you need to see, in my mind. I don't think so, GMG, because yes, I said I think Germany keep a clean sheet, but I think Szoboszlai is such a good asset, I'd keep him in. I'd go Gundogan, mate. No, it doesn't. Only really works on the right, and even then it doesn't really work for Pep. He's not a winger. He's just not a winger. Because I'd have to take a -4 for it, Ben. I brought Gahey in for De Kuyper and Kane in for Mbappe, and then DeMarco is playing, so I think I just have to leave him. I think it's a bit of everything, Ben. I keep Shaqiri. Yeah, he stayed on all game, didn't he? Fair enough, Steve. No, definitely not Wasif. I think that's a great front three. I wouldn't be changing that, my friend. I think that's great. Going to be going for 20 more minutes. I do have to hop off at 2 because I've actually got to go back to work. I'm doing this like in my lunch hour, basically. I just don't see how Wharton fits into the team. Yes, Alex, I'm working from home today. I absolutely yomped my lunch down while doing a bit of work. I came on this stream, but yeah, so I'll use my lunch hour to do the stream basically because I'm committed to this. I couldn't do a Matchday 1 deadline stream because I had training at the same time. That's all right, mate. I've had a couple people ask me, Wirtz and Gundogan captain, when I've got Wirtz and Gundogan in my team and Gundogan is my captain. So hopefully that answers your question. I've no idea, Nubbed. It's such a mystery because it all depends on how the results go Matchday 2. So I have no idea until it plays out. I think Guardiola could be playing centre back today, yeah. Havertz. No comment, Alex. Probably not. Because I do actually have to go on a call. No, not at all, Steve. I've got Verbruggen, that's it. No, I don't think so at all, mate. I still think there are enough chances to get good captains. Chief Nerd, my friend. Go off the screen. Not a great match day. I got 49. 2 players, or a few players returning. Not a great week. I still think that's a good team, though. What makes you think that, Wasif? Higher points potential. What makes you think that? I think they're all very close, to be honest. I think all of Wirtz, Gundogan, Musiala, and Havertz are all very, very close, to be completely honest with you. Well, if you heard that on the mic, that was my stomach. Apologies. It was having a growl. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. It was just a disappointing week on the whole. Match day, sorry, on the whole, wasn't it? So yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. We have good weeks and bad weeks in fantasy football, don't we? It's the nature of the beast. It's just how it goes. What do you reckon of Mbappe and Rodri out for Griezmann and Saka? No. I'd do Mbappe to Havertz or Kane, whichever one of those two you don't have. I agree, Ben, from set piece. I think it'll be all right. He'll probably make a few runs forward as well. What do I make of Switzerland's chances? Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, we're frozen up here. Hopefully my stream isn't actually frozen. It's showing frozen for me. Yeah, I think Switzerland make it out of the group. I'll go 60%. No, 70. Yep, it's just the nature of the game, mate. You get good weeks, you get bad weeks, just got to ride it out. Don't get too high, don't get too low, just carry on. The nature of this game, because it's shorter than FPL, is because there's going to be more luck involved. I don't think so, Steve. I think FPL will launch. It's the Euros end. That could happen. Probably like the week after. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? What do you reckon influences people to buy? You're saying people. It's covered by the heart that I see. The ball recoveries and the fact they like Switzerland. That'd be why. You've got 10 ball recoveries in the first game. Havertz, Wirtz, Musiala, Kanji, Guardiola, captain. I would go Havertz. Why not? There's a chance he takes the penalties now. I still think Gundogan's the penalty taker, but Havertz took the last one. He took it very well. I'd go Havertz. Yeah. Give it Havertz. Why not? Why the fuck not? I get taken down for swearing on stream now, aren't I? Guardiola all day, mate. Just go for it. I'd go Gundogan. It's a fair point, Ben, but does it mean he tears them apart and gets the attacking returns himself, or just cuts them open and then gives the ball to his teammates to do, I guess? But yeah, he does sit very well. I mean, you can do. I would get rid of Mbappe, transfer him out for someone, though. I'd get Ronaldo in. Trent, Nicholas. I'd like Trent, but I'm just not 100% sure that he plays. And I'd say I'm less sure that he plays than Cancelo. I'd go Castagna over Face if you're on your limitless. Yeah, it's got to be Lunin, mate. It's got to be Lunin. You can't be playing Verbruggen against France if that's your choice. But you've got to go Lunin, I think. I've got Verbruggen. I'm not going to be... I don't think he'll be getting in. But yeah, I'd go Lunin. Oh, thank you everyone for the support on the stream. Make sure to leave a like if you haven't already, and subscribe to the Goal and Goal channel. I imagine actually you have to. I think you have to subscribe to chat. So, yeah. What about 1 and 4? Matchday 4 is the round of 16, mate. You get unlimited transfers anyway, don't you? Casteels, Cancelo, Bruno, Ronaldo as my... Yeah, I like it, mate. That's nice. That is nice. Sommer, Simon, Trent, Mittelstadt, Akanji, Guardiola, Cancelo, Musiala, Bellingham. Yeah, I really like it. I think you can do better than Griezmann, though. Oh, I see what you mean, Ben. Yes, I agree. I agree. Shank, I like the team apart from Griezmann. I'd pick another striker. But I'd imagine Griezmann's the penalty taker for France now. There's no Mbappe, so I suppose there's logic to your decision, to be fair. I might consider picking Lukaku over Kane, though. If you don't trust Lukaku, blimey, fair enough. If you don't trust Lukaku, then don't pick him. I would pick him. But yeah, if you don't trust him, then there's no need to pick him. Oh, totally, Ben. It's a shorter game. So there is more luck, definitely. It's a shorter game with more chances to score points. So for me, I think luck is more involved, definitely. Can you see the overall leaderboard? I'm just going to flick to another screen in case. Oh yeah, me too, Ben. I didn't do too well. Leagues. I don't want to give away the neutral. 3 million players playing the game. Fair enough. This guy. So this is the top team in the world right now. Unai Simon, Bastoni, Carvajal, Saliba, Svatok, who didn't get anything. So best player in the world right now had a 0-pointer in his team. Musiala, Gula, Burtz, Bellingham, Yamal, and it's not a bad team, is it? And then Daniel, Cody Gakpo. That was his team. He actually went 5-4-1. He picked Ollie Watkins. He's got Ollie Watkins and he's second in the world. I think that says all you need to know, doesn't it? That's my job, mate. But you know, play the game your way at the end of the day. It's my job to make you question your choices, though. Any suggestions to change the midfield? No. I like it. Go with that, mate. Guardiola or Akanji? Guardiola, because he will play a couple more games. FPL is more simple than the Euros Fantasy. You get one captain per game week, and you have to decide your team on the deadline. You can't change your subs or anything, so you have to decide who you want in your starting 11 or on the subs bench from the deadline. Me too, Steve. To be honest, I want it to be a much bigger supplement to my fun than FPL is to Premier League, but they're both fun. Isaac Maggs, yeah, nice, mate. I think you probably do better than Zabarnyi, would be my only thought there, but the rest of the team is bang on, mate, in my mind. Why not you should just pick an expensive defender, Isaac, in my opinion. Deciding to go for Pedri instead of KDB. Wow. That is bold. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one, personally. But it's your team. Oh, I don't think... Yeah, I guess so. I guess it could work for you, Isaac. Good luck, Liam, mate. Good luck to you, mate. Fair enough, Wasif. Fair enough, mate. Like I said, it's your team. Do what you like. I just do Mbappe to Griezmann. Kane to Lukaku. Blimey. Okay, fair enough, mate. Yeah, I like that. I like Kane to Lukaku, actually. Or do you think Dovbyk or Griezmann for Lukaku? No, I keep Lukaku. What is the prize? I don't even know. Prizes, there we are. Your prizes. Shirt of your choice if you win the match day. Official match ball, €50 of gear. If you win, a trip to Qatar for you and a friend, including flights. Finish in second place, you win a PlayStation 5 or Xbox and a shirt. And then you get an official match ball and a shirt for third. Everyone disses prizes in fantasy football games, but when they can't give too much away, I'm not going to comment on that with Steve. You can't give too much money away because the game couldn't be available for under 18s then. So that's why the prizes aren't. I don't think you can give monetary prizes. So I think that's why the rewards are physical items or a trip, for example. Because it's not an over 18s game. I think that's why. Well, that might be different rules across Europe, but they obviously have to make the game with a, being cognizant of all the rules. So I think that's why they've done it. Kunde, you don't need to start Kunde, mate, do you? Start Mittelstadt today and then bring in whoever you think if Mittelstadt doesn't perform. If Mittelstadt gets a clean sheet, I'd keep him in, mate. No, Steve. I think... Actually, yeah. Yeah, I do. I'd probably say Pickford's a bit better because he's probably going to play every game. Best under 8 million midfielder for Matchday 2. Wirtz or Gundogan. Or Musiala. Pick one of those three, mate. Yeah, I'm going to stick with it, Wasif. They've got a proven track record of being excellent players, so I'm not worried. No changes, Nicholas. That is fine for me. Absolutely fine. It's just whether you want to go for an England player over a Kanji, really. That's the only sort of thinking, the only sort of thoughts you should have, really. You don't have any German places left? Oh, no. Under 8 million. Right, let's try it out, yeah. Yeah, Trossard. Trossard or Modric. Yeah, Trossard or Modric for me. Yeah, agree, Ben, but then it would have to be 18 plus. Mbappe and Gundogan for Griezmann and Musiala, or Mbappe and Chekvatsid for Griezmann and what? 6 points. Yeah, go the first one. I think he is, mate. That's if you don't think that, then mate, you can see who my captain is. Why are you asking who my captain is? It's set, mate. You don't have to ask. It's there. Next week, Raul Duke. Akanji over, I would say Akanji over Kunde. Full recoveries, isn't it? Nearly there, everyone. Nearly at the deadline. See if any big news has come out on Twitter ahead of time. I think we're all good, though, to be completely honest. I would flip a coin between Musiala and Wirtz. Mark Gahey is my answer. Going for KDB again. Well, you're going to have to stick with it because the site will crash soon. I'm joking. It probably won't crash. They actually know what they're doing. Thought Gahey was pretty decent, Alex, to be honest with you. I was a little bit worried about how he'd perform against Vlahovic and Mitrovic, all their physicality. But he did well. I thought he was good. He looked really nervous when he was walking out, in my opinion, as well. But yeah, he didn't look nervous when he was playing. He was good. I was content. I thought he played maybe better than Maguire would have done. Dare I say it? Thought Stones looked a bit weaker than Gahey, to be honest with you. Didn't think Stones had his best game, but he hasn't played much football, has he? Recently. You know what? Stick it on Middlestat. Why not? That was a off-the-cuff opinion. And I'm not going to be held responsible if it doesn't work out. Oh, I got a pigeon right outside my window. You can't hear it on the mic, but he's very loud. I'm going to just shoo the pigeon off because it's very noisy. Oh, hey, pigeon. Shut up. Sorry, folks. I was shooing away a pigeon. Also, I haven't mentioned this yet. I'll mention it in my videos for Matchday 3. I am away at Glastonbury during the last 16. Obviously, on holiday, I usually make videos while I'm on holiday. But Glastonbury is not the place where I can make a fantasy football YouTube video, I'm afraid. So you'll be missing a week of content from me on it. That's my Glastonbury calendar. Pigeon's going on a mad one. He didn't go away when I shooed him. So there's nothing I can do about the pigeon. All right, the deadline's coming. Shoot any last questions you've got in. I don't know. Does it look red? It does a little bit. I absolutely nailed my finger in the gym today as well. I put a dumbbell back in place and it this morning, and it absolutely slid onto my index finger. Going with KDB as my final. Yeah, mate, like it. Like it, Steve. Probably not. I feel like a bit of I don't know. I want to say a word beginning with W, but I just don't really want to vlog at Glastonbury. I want to be off my phone as much as possible and just enjoying it, to be honest with you. Right, I think we're nearly there. One thing that absolutely irks me is the amount of phones you see when you go to gigs, by the way. You don't need to film it all, mate. You don't need to film it all. I once went to a Loyal Kana concert and watched the entire thing through someone's Snapchat story as they were recording it, which I thought was ridiculous. Right, there's the deadline. I will leave it there because I've got to go back to work. So I'm going to rush to my other laptop now. thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you. I think it's going to be quite hard to make a video tonight ahead of Matchday 3, just because you need results to happen to determine which teams are still going to be picking their main 11s. I find it really hard to make like early midweek content on this game. So yeah, bear with. Might be a video tomorrow, might not be. Haven't depends if we've got much to talk about. Yeah. I wish you guys all the best for match week 2. It's an absolute pleasure streaming to you. I'll catch you later.